Right. Morning, everybody out there in Norwich Guide Dog Forum world. This morning is going to be slightly different because I've had a last minute cancellation. Unfortunately, Yvette couldn't make it due to personal reasons. Yvette, I hope everything's okay with you and hopefully we'll speak to you soon. So today I'm going to have a chat with Timmy because I think it's important that as the country is, I mean, the reason the virtual forum came about in the first place is because we are in the grips of a global pandemic. Our social interactions face-to-face have been extremely limited. And at Norwich Guide Dog Forum, we felt that it was what we have is just too important and too valuable to just let go of and not continue in some shape or form, just so we have something to return to once the dust has settled, once everything's been said and done and we've had a vaccine and we're back to normal. And we really, the coordinators, Scott, Annette, Angie and myself, we're all really passionate about keeping things not alive but relevant until we can all meet face to face and we can have that human interaction again. So this month was all about engagement in music and what music means to people who are visually impaired and how it shapes our life and how it adds value in ways that probably would feel quite incredible to somebody who has full sight, because a lot of the access to music is through visual means. It's through reading notes, it's through being able to see strings, it's through being able to see parts of the musical instruments that we clearly cannot. And yet music is massively accessible and massively a part of our lives. And, you know, clearly demonstrated by Stevie Wonder and others, it's very, very important. So next week hopefully I'll be talking to John T. Young, who is the spokesperson for Norwich Lanes, and music has been a huge part of his life. And I know he's only recently lost his sight. Hi, John T, if you're listening. But it remains hugely relevant, not just now because it's sort of been taken away from us, but generally it's good to have it as part of the enrichment of part of who we are. And it's arts in general is just so really important. So back to what I'm hoping we can do with the Guide Dog Forum is I'm going to carry on with these in conversations because I've got so many just amazing guests who I feel will open eyes as to what is actually possible out there, what we can do, what we could do, what we could love to do. Because what I'm finding talking to people and my experience of interaction is that we're getting to a point, the days are drawing in, the days have got so much shorter, winter is looming, we might have another lockdown, we might not, is that the question is starting to pop up as to, yes, I could do that, but what's the point? I could go there, but what's the point? And instead, I'm not going to pretend to be a life coach in any shape or form, but perhaps instead we could say, I will do this because I'd just love to. And wouldn't it be incredible? And that goes for anything, either you're taking a walk or going to the supermarket or having a cup of tea. So I'm doing this just because I just love it, and I'd forgotten how much I love it. And it's bringing those few little moments of what is really important to us into everyday life, not because we're trying to contrive to be happy, but because the world is reorganizing itself in a huge way. I listened to the radio this morning, and there's a criminal barrister on who has practically run out of work, and honestly, I never thought I would see the day when the world would weep for criminal barristers. And yet the day has come, and it's today. And the other point is the travel industry, and all the flights have been cancelled. For years we've been talking about how air travel is polluting our planet and how we should really cut back. And now that it's here through means that we kind of hadn't anticipated, and the positive impact on the environment is probably going to be quite measurable, and yet we still manage to be upset about it. So I just feel that we need to just take each day as it comes, and just find who we are in that day, because otherwise everything's going to literally fall to bits. So on that note, I have coming up for you next week, I've got Jonty. Jonty, please do not give up on me. I'm going to be so cross. And then Mike Wordingham, who's going to be talking about his guitar. And then we've got our next forum coming up, where I'm hoping Clive Lewis will finally be able to join us, because it's due to a mix-up. He just couldn't at the last forum. And then we've got our Christmas forum, which hopefully will be quite special, and we'll get something really nice for you together. And then there's a whole plan for next year, which could be all sorts of things that the forum has done previously or hasn't done. We're hoping to talk to Vision Norfolk. We're probably going to have the Norfolk County Council back, who are going to be assessing the pilot scheme for the e-scooter trial and see how that's going, and all sorts of guests. So pop me, if you've got anything that you'd like to see on the forum, just let me know, and I'll try and get the guests in, which would be really, really, really rather nice. We're also planning at the Norwich Guide Dog Forum, and we've decided on this because next year is the 90 years of guide dogs. We've already got our project called Name a Norfolk Puppy, which Annette is bravely spearheading and is featured on the radio and all sorts of places, and in the newspaper you've seen. So we're looking to raise enough money to have a competition to name this new puppy, which will be our Norfolk pup, which I think would be really, really nice. So that's one of our projects. And we're also going to organise a fundraiser, which we're sort of in discussion with about what we're going to do. And I think us girls want to have afternoon tea, because that's a really civilised thing to do. And I think Scott would probably prefer something else, but we'll see. We might just combine it all together. Or have two separate parties. So that's a fundraiser that's coming up, which will be really rather nice, and it'll be next October during Guide Dog Month. And I really am keeping fingers crossed that there's enough of the world left by the time we get there, so we can have a successful party. So you will all be invited to that, to come and celebrate with us 90 years of guide dogs. Because this hasn't been a proper in conversation, I'm going to cut it short because I will not be preaching, and I am so acutely aware of sort of personal issues that people are going through, because things are tough and unexpected and changed in ways that we don't quite understand. I'm going to repost Fiona's tapping session for you, where she talks about how to deal with anxiety, which I know might be a bit far-fetched for a lot of you, but you know, what needs must, really. You know, can beggars really be choosers? Let's find a way of making it to tomorrow, to next week, to next month in a better shape than we probably were today or yesterday, because it's worth it. I know we're not used to change, and especially I find having lost sight, change is really difficult to adapt to. It's changing the environment is tough. Changing people's attitude is tough. Just change generally is not easy, and it comes with all sorts of connotations of you know, from frustration to anger to what's the point? And the point is because it is fun, and because we do love to do it, and because it is worthwhile. And because I think mostly it's just because it's something that we love. So if we keep that in our life, then fingers crossed, we'll be here next week for you with the In Conversation, and on the third Thursday in November with our virtual guide dog forum. And we'll be with you in the new year with all the new exciting projects. And when everything's been lifted, we can have our face-to-face forums and decide what we're still going to do with the virtual ones. And on that note, I'm just going to say also that everything that's been done video-wise has been posted on the Norwich Guide Dog Forum YouTube channel, which again is another product of coronavirus. This pandemic's had so many babies, it's unbelievable. And this is probably quite a good one. I think we're the first forum to have a YouTube channel all of our own, and it's got quite a lot of content on it, I've noticed. So there's a couple of forums on there, there's all the In Conversations. So if you have any little videos of your guide dogs or guide dog puppies, or things that you've done with your guide dog out and about, if you've got a GoPro and you've got really nice footage that we could post, that would be really amazing. I'm really happy to just put it on and keep it there for posterity, because it's all little snippets in time and snippets of history that we'll look back on and going, oh my God, what a time. So yeah, so on that note, you all take care, and I shall see you next week, hopefully. And yeah, stay safe till then. Take care. Bye.